Hey YouTube, it's New Life for Jen, or Jen. Today is Wednesday, November 2nd, 2011. And today I'm coming on to do multiple response videos to Losing It with Rebecca, Wonder Woman at 40, and Ms.Bandtastic. A lot on mental work, and I think with me, I've been working on that. But situations arise throughout your journeys that make you realize that maybe you need to do more mental work than what you thought you were accomplishing. So, second, I want to thank everybody for the prayers and thoughts and comments for my niece. She had surgery on Monday. She's doing okay. It's just, that's stress in itself, and you just want everything to be fine and be done and be better. So, but I appreciate everybody's concerns and stuff on that. And that's part of this whole mental thing. I had talked in my last video, the reason why we chose our weight loss journeys, I believe, has to do with where our mental work has to come in. The reason why we gained the weight or became overweight is a reason probably that we have our biggest mental work or features that we have to work on. Kim had stated in her video that she was the oldest sibling in her family, and I am the oldest as well of 4 girls. I've said in my previous videos, we've recently lost in the last couple years both of our parents. My mom was 51, my dad was 53. That was one of the main reasons why I chose this surgery, was to become healthy, to outlive that statistic of feeling like I was going to pass away in my 50s. And I'm getting there. Mentally, I'm getting there too. It's funny because I'm going to be 34 this year, and I still kind of feel that way sometimes, like I have like 15 years left and that's going to be it. But that's part of my mental work, is getting over tragedies that have happened in my family and to myself, and learning that you don't have to settle for that. You don't have to settle for things that have happened to you or to a family member. And that's not going to be your journey, or that's not going to be your statistic. I mean, I truly believe now that we are in control of our own destinies and our own fate, and it's just being aware and being on top of those situations. So I gained probably 30 pounds after my parents passed away. I was probably in the 230s when the hardcore gaining weight actually happened. But I was never thin. Never in high school was I thin. Never as a young adult was I thin. I got pregnant very early. I was 18, graduating high school. So went straight from being a high school student to being a parent to going through some pretty traumatic things in my early 20s. Which that's what I was talking about before. When we start in and we start talking about these things, it becomes even more of a personal journey with everybody. And, there's much more to all of our journeys that probably any of us are willing to share, or willing to re-go through those things. Because I'm a person that has learned to suppress things. And maybe that was due to my childhood. I was the oldest, so I feel that I was treated differently than my other sisters. I feel that more was expected out of me. I feel that I got, I don't know, sometimes I feel I just had to grow up really, really fast, and that kind of led to the choices I made when I turned 18. Ultimately, they were my choices, and I made the choices I did. But my family life, my parents stayed married. They were married 30 years before my mom passed away. So I wasn't from a split family, or a family that moved around a lot. Our family, had lived in 2 places, and that's all we knew. We grew up in a great town, great community. So those things weren't issues. But internally, things I think that were going inside of the household probably led me to be where I was at at 265 pounds. I can remember as a kid being 16 or 17 and my mom going to what they called a bread store where they would sell Hostess bread products cheaper, like at a discount, and she would buy, 5 loaves of bread for $3 or whatever the situation, whatever the deal was. And I would go in with the money that I earned from babysitting or the jobs that I had, and I would buy Hostess cupcakes or Ding Dongs or Suzy Q's or whatever item that they had, and I personally bought them at that young of an age and would put them in my room and I would eat them. And I think back to it now and I'm like, why would my mom let me do that? Why would she let me eat that unhealthy? Why would she allow those things to happen? She knew I was buying it because she would take us there. So it's not like she didn't know it was doing it, like I was sneaking it. She just allowed it. So I think coming to grips that I felt always that I was never good enough and that everything I did was always questioned, and it was always questioned, it was always evaluated, it was always, you can do this better, you can do that better. And I just always felt like I had to prove something to somebody. And there's times still that I feel that way. And I have to remind myself that, I'm an adult. I have 3 children, I have a husband, I have a house, I have a business, I don't have to do those things anymore. And the things that I have to worry about are myself, my family, and our well-being. And that I don't have to live my life anymore for anybody else, and I don't have to prove anything to anybody. As long as I am content with the choices and the situations I am making, then everybody else should be content with that too, because they just love me for me. So that is where I feel that my weight gain and my positive mental attitude went to crap. It went to crap. I always felt like I wasn't good enough and that I didn't have any positive reinforcement. And I don't know. That's where I guess my mental work has to come in. And I see myself now, unfortunately, it causes a lot of problems and rift and issues between me and my husband. I see myself now trying to do the exact opposite with my kids. Just to not prove a point, but just to say, you could have done it this way and things would have been okay. And in the same aspect, I have a daughter now that has weight issues. And so now I try to reevaluate, well, why does she have weight issues? What have I done to cause this? What have I done to her as a parent to cause her to have these issues? So it's a mental game, not just for, me personally, but it's a mental game on how to mentally balance my family and how to fix things. I'm a fixer. I always want to fix everything. I don't want any problems. I don't want any issues. I want everybody to be happy. I will help anybody I can help, even if it puts 20 more things on my list of stuff to do that day. I'm a fixer. I like to fix things. And the thing is through all this time, I was trying to fix everything else, and not for 1 minute did I sit back and try to fix me, or actually sit back and see the damage I was doing to myself. And, if I've done any permanent damage to my body due to the weight gain, I just have to do my best to try to reverse it. Granted, I've lost the weight. My cholesterol is okay. My blood pressure is great. I don't have diabetes, but, I still have back issues. I still have other issues. So who knows how much damage I caused myself by trying to fix everybody else and not fix me. So this has been a very different experience for me to more try to concentrate just on myself and not worry about everybody else. And I am telling you that if different situations wouldn't have happened in the last couple years the way they did, I probably wouldn't have fixed myself. If I wouldn't have lost my mom and dad, I might not have. I still would have been 265 or maybe 280 or 300 pounds, because I was eating my way through that emotion because I didn't know how to express it. I bury myself in things. I bury myself in work. And that affects everybody. It affects me mentally. It affects me physically. It affects my family. But that's how I deal with stress and emotions. I just bury myself in work. But I just appreciate everybody's videos and how much it means to me to make your journeys more personal, because it helps me get through mine. And you know, every day everybody's got stress and struggles and stuff, but we all have to work on this mental work all the time. And like Rebecca said, not in her PAC video, but just the one she did the other day, you know, we have a time that we exercise or we eat or whatever, but you know, the mental work, that can happen anytime in our day, our lives, our week, our month. There's going to be mental work that we have to do, and we have to be strong enough to get through it. And I'm learning now, just with this situation this week, that I am getting stronger, and that I'm not turning to food like I used to. Am I turning to other things? Yeah, probably, you know, work, just things to do. I've always got to have something to do. I can't sit still. That's just how I am. That's how I've always been. Whether I was today 163 pounds or 8 months ago at 265 pounds, I've always kept myself busy and moving. So that's probably why I didn't weigh 320 pounds. You know, because I probably easily could have, because I go nonstop all the time, regardless of what my weight was. So maybe that has, I don't know. But I just wanted to say thank you, and I know this video wasn't as put together as I wanted it to be, but with this week, it's been crazy, and I didn't know if I'd be able to get it done, so I'm on my way home. I figured I would just do it now, and you guys know how I feel, and I hope you guys can understand what I was trying to say. But everybody have a great day. We'll talk to you guys soon.